So I'm going to touch on two biases that come up in different ways here. I'm going to just tell you a story about when I was in New York City visiting some clients, and I was visiting our local team there. So we've got teams all over the country, and I was going to dinner with these guys in New York, and I said, well, there's this great city for restaurants. Where do you want to go? And they said, we really want to go to a steakhouse. I said, I'm from Kansas City. You know, I don't need to go to a steakhouse, right? We've got all the steakhouses in Kansas City. Pick anything except steak and barbecue. And they're like, Peter, you have not been to this steakhouse. This is the steakhouse you have to go to. And they talked about how amazing it was, and they bring in the best meat from everywhere. I said, great. So we went to the steakhouse, and we're all sitting down, and it was one of those steakhouses where they come and do a big presentation. And so they go through the filet, and they go through the porterhouse, and it's all wrapped in saran wrap, and then they get to the strip, and they go, and this is what I recommend you order. This is strip, it's thick cut, bone in, it's absolutely amazing, and it just came in from Kansas City yesterday. So, what did I hear? I heard that Kansas City has the best steak. What did they hear? They heard that in New York we get the best stuff from everywhere, wherever it is, right? So we each had confirmation bias. Confirmation bias is this very powerful force where we just keep doing what we're doing. The side of the bed you slept on the day you got married is the side of the bed you're sleeping on today. And we've heard a lot about the force of habit today, whether we're talking about happiness or money. But confirmation bias is the idea that we poo-poo things that conflict with what we say, and we really put a lot of credit on things that agree with us. If instead of today we were going to have this event with people speaking about money and happiness and so on, we had three speakers, the three greatest speakers in the world, to talk about three topics that are very hot-button topics, things like guns and taxes and things like that. And they all came up here, and all three speakers were the smartest, brightest people on earth, presenting the most powerful arguments on the opposite side of the issue of you. None of you, I would bet not one person in the room, nor myself, would change our mind on any position, right? That's confirmation bias. That's why if you're liberal, you probably go to the Huffington Post online, you read the New York Times, you watch MSNBC. If you're conservative, you go to the Drudge Report online, you watch Fox Business, you might read the Wall Street Journal. We're constantly looking for things that reaffirm our positions. And sometimes when we hear these presenters today, we look for things that reinforce what we were already thinking. And the issue with confirmation bias is it can lead us to make very big mistakes. Warren Buffett was asked what he does when he wants to buy a company. Because most people, when they want to buy something, they look for all the reasons to buy it. And he said, I bring in people to tell me why I shouldn't buy it. What could go wrong with this investment? And that's what we do at Creative Planning. We're basically looking and saying, look, we're not a part of a big brokerage house where we're relying on one person or one company's research. If Vanguard's the best at something, we're going to use them. If State Street's the best at something, we're going to use them. If Dimensional's the best at something, we're going to use them. We're listening to all of them, and we're telling them, don't just tell us about your product, tell us what's wrong with everything else. We want to know what could go wrong somewhere in the portfolio, and so we're trying to fight that.